Hello, Adam.
How's it going,
Nice to
Cory?
see you today.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, no doubt.
And as you know, you're here for the equity research position
Yes.
here at Bank of America. Bank of America this is the New York office. It is our central hub, one of our central hubs. So that means you'll be indwelled in with a team that's got your back, and you can always confer with them. Today, I will be asking you various questions about your competencies in equity research. It seems like you have some good experience, so I'd just love to get more in depth in that. So without further ado, can you kind of talk about the Creighton education, kind of like how you got to this point?
Sure.
What interested you within that, and kind of just the path that's been from there?
Yeah, so I really didn't know what I wanted to study when I came in. Chose business kind of reluctantly. Kind of looked at accounting, looked at economics, and then kind of looked at finance a bit, but didn't really decide, I'd say, until junior year when I took a class called Financial Statement Analysis. It's like the second course in the finance major. And I really liked it. It was a tough class, but it really kind of showed you how to understand how a company's doing. And it really taught me how to evaluate financial statements, which were such foreign concepts to me beforehand.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of, once I kind of understood how I can evaluate companies and kind of understand what's going on there, that's when I really got interested in investment research and that sector of finance. And that's kind of what led me to applying to this job and participating in the portfolio practicum class and so on and so forth.
So you talked about the financial statement analysis course. What do you think the most valuable information you got out of that, kind of the thing that sticks with you today, especially in kind of how you look at other companies and really value them?
Yeah, so definitely something I learned is prior to that class, you would have asked me to tell you how good a company is doing. I would look if they're making money or not, and I can tell you that, and I probably couldn't tell you much after that. But I was able to learn stuff about the cash flow statement and being able to dissect where the cash is coming from and how the companies are really making money. For example, are they making money, based off their operations? If you're a t-shirt maker, are you making money because you're selling t-shirts, or are you making money because is that cash coming in because you're issuing equity in the stock market, or you're taking on debt and that's why you have positive cash flow? So understanding that stuff and really digging deeper into the different financial statements.
Yeah, and so with this equity research, you're going to be given numerous projects at a time. It might be a couple, it might be quite a few. So tell me how you work kind of in the classroom or in your job efficiently with multiple projects. How do you time manage that? Because it is a very valuable.
Yeah, definitely. Time management is definitely crucial. I would say both of the internships I've done, I've worked during the school year too. So I've had experience working 20 hours a week and trying to balance that with class. I think the best thing you can do is that you can't truly multitask at the same time. Our minds can only be focused on one thing, but that's just being present in whatever we're doing. So if I'm at work, it means getting my work stuff done. And then at school, getting my school stuff done.
Yeah,
making sure that I take care of my responsibilities and can stay organized that way.
Yeah, kind of when you leave the school, you're working only on that job, and that's it. Yeah, great to hear. So in your private placements position at Mutual of Omaha, what would you say the particular skills you gained from that kind of outside of the classroom and really helped you?
I would say just you really learn how to read and learn about companies. That's something that we don't get the time to do in the classroom because we're focused on definitions and terminology and the more academic practices of it. But being able to have the time to learn about different companies and read about them, it's really a skill set kind of in and of itself. And being able to learn from my bosses in that regard, I think, is something that's been really, really beneficial for me.
Absolutely. So in your past experience, just a little bit, it looks like you did cash flow, income, and balance sheet analysis, and you built them models in Excel. Could you tell me what kind of models you created, and were they given to you, or? Yeah,
so these are just general financial models in Excel. They cover the three basic financial statements. And basically what they seek to do is give the analyst a better picture of what's really going on behind the scenes. So basically how we start is I always start my job, I'll read the financial reports that come out from the companies that are registered with the government through the SEC. I then take those data, put them into Excel, and then I take that raw data that we have and then actually build these into more, I would say aesthetically pleasing models.
Not as an analytical.
Yeah, that do show the general financial statements, but also paint it in a picture that's easy for the analyst to understand, and then we can build other stuff off that. that can show more nuanced and detailed financial metrics and ratios and kind of projections about what we think will occur. So really that kind of helps me zone in like the quantitative side of things.
Absolutely.
And then it also helps the analyst dissect what's going on in performing some other analyses off that raw data, something that Microsoft Excel allows us to do.
Yeah, and so kind of working in that environment, how would you say your communication skills with communicating that with the upper analysts, and kind of how did you do that? Were you successful in that, would you say?
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely been something I've had to work on, but I've improved in it, I think. Each time we look at a new company, I'm in charge of doing the first step in that process, which then results in me kind of giving a briefing to the analysts on it. So it really allows me to really try to take all the information I learned in, the hours I put into it into maybe a 5 to 10 minute pitch to them. It teaches you how to pick important points out of a large data set. It really teaches you the importance of knowing what you're talking about, because you have to be able to describe something in simple terms and quickly. You can't just prepare a written report and read off of it. That would not be very smooth or sound very good. So you have to truly learn about what you're talking about and be precise and accurate in the information you give out.
Absolutely. So kind of just the next, so I kind of want to get into the equity research, specifically kind of competencies you have. So Uber stock recently endured a large loss. Could you kind of explain what the occurrence could have been, what may have previous to that?
Yeah, well, Uber's an interesting example because they're a new company out there, and they're kind of tech-based, is essentially what they are. So that means almost you can guarantee they're not making money, kind of like what I talked about earlier. They're probably not making money from their cash from operations. I haven't looked at Uber's financial statements, so I can't say that with certainty, but that would be my first hunch, is that they're not making money from their operations. So there's not much, there's not much meat on those bones. It's a lot of hype. So when Uber's IPO launched, that stock price is going to be up here, but it's based off emotion. It's based off the fact that people really like Uber, but there's not much to show. They haven't shown how they can be truly profitable yet. Most of their money is coming from the equity they raised in the IPO or any debt that they took on from banks or other sort of lenders along the way. So I think you kind of had that high stock price, high IPO based off emotion. Market kind of corrected it, came back down, and I think we're going to see kind of going forward until Uber can show how they can be profitable in the long run. We're going to see that stock price kind of boomerang from here to here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So kind of another, if you had 10 million laying on this table, how would you invest it today?
I would put in an index fund, which kind of sounds surprising. I'm a finance major. You think that'd be sacrilegious, but the data has shown that index funds are actually overall probably the best way to do it, especially from a time perspective. You maybe can pull Warren Buffett and sit for hours and hours and hours and hours trying to invest, but when you think about market timing, when you think about any transaction fees that you do when you buy and sell trades through a brokerage firm, probably the best one-stop shop to put that 10 million is just in an index fund and have it sit. Now, if it's short-term investment, that's the different scenario. But if we're talking about $10 million a day and you want it to be, you want the most money in maybe 20, 30 years, I would say an index fund. If you're looking for a more specialized option, you want a specific time frame, if you want specific, exposure to certain industries, then it's a totally different option. But from a one-stop shop perspective, an index fund is what I do.
Absolutely. And then one more question, kind of what's your future projections? What's your career outlook 5 years down the road, say?
Basically, I want to find a job that challenges me and a job that I truly enjoy, a job that I can do sort of different things every day. It doesn't mean that I have to be, always traveling, always doing, crazy different things, but I want to be challenged in a new way every day, look at different companies, meet new people when I can, and really have a new, adventure every week, every month or so. So I don't have a specific title or a specific company or specific location, but something that challenges me and gets me excited each day.
Great to hear, Adam. Well, that just about wraps it up. So kind of, do you have any questions for me moving on, kind of steps?
Yeah, just kind of first off, what do you think the biggest challenges are for new hires, just in general, that you see from a professional development standpoint in Bank of America?
I think it's a transition definitely with, college, school, getting that kind of work, and then actually having, these multiple projects and really honing in and finding that time to complete all these projects in that amount of time. So I do see a discrepancy of some hires that kill it and they really hone in on that time management, but others, they have to work a little harder. So it's just kind of, that's the first
Okay.
step, I would say.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
What was the kind of next steps in this, interview process, and
Yeah.
application process?
Yeah, so we're looking at about 2 weeks. We're gonna confer, the team and I, we're gonna confer and see where your qualities and competencies line up and with Bank of America. So I would say about 2 weeks, you'll get a phone call from me either way if it's yes or no.
Okay.
But I don't think I have any worries, and yeah.
All right, thank you, Cory. Appreciate it. It's been great getting to know you and more about the job, and hopefully we can hear some good news here in a few weeks.
All right, thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Cory.